Welcome back to Dom's Corner, everybody. I'm your host, Dom Martino, and sitting here to my left is Mr. Ian Schick. Ian, how you doing today?
Oh, I am doing fantastic, Dom. How are you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty well. Thank you, bud. Appreciate it. And today we're going to get into Star Wars Rebels Season 4. You guys have been waiting on it, and that'll end our Star Wars review series for quite a while, unfortunately. But we got other things to talk about in the future, and we're going to move on to those. Maybe some Harry Potter wink wink. We might get into some of that, and a lot of other things that we could talk about in the future. But I want to thank you guys very, very much for joining. And hey, if you guys haven't done so already, please hit that like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comment section. That is very, very much appreciated. So thank you very much for joining again, and we'll get right into this. So Ian, Star Wars Rebels Season 4. Do you remember the first time you saw this?
Yes, Dom. It was only a couple months ago.
True.
I do. It was very memorable. Season 4 was a fantastic way to end Rebels, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no problem. I feel kind of brokenhearted that it's gone. By the way, am I quiet on your end or am I good?
You're good.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
My mic's turned down. So, anyway, man, it left me kind of brokenhearted because I was just like, man, I need more to this. It can't end here, but unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end, and that's how this felt for me.
Yeah, definitely. It was a really awesome season, though. Overall, like I think it is my favorite season of Rebels. I think it's just from beginning to end. It keeps you in. It's action packed as all hell. Insanity. I love this season like so much, and the biggest things that I think happen in this season for sure.
Oh yeah.
There's just so many new concepts that we're introduced to, and so many new ideas, and this is it. It definitely like culminates into one epic final season. Some of the highlights for me, I mean, we'll start talking in spoiler depth, I guess. So, in-depth spoilers on this. So some of the highlights for me, just to start out, I mean, we get to see like Saw Gerrera and his insanity quite a bit. Just he kind of spirals out of control in this. I thought that was really interesting. The Bendu, there's some awesome stuff with Bendu in this.
Facts.
Yeah, coming down and taking mother. He just doesn't want to be bothered, Bendu. So he's like, you come bother me, I'm gonna come bother you, and I'm gonna do it tenfold. And he definitely does that in this. I mean, when he's coming, I mean the visuals in the sky, just incredible stuff. I mean, let's start there, I guess. What do you think of the Bendu Kanan stuff?
It's honestly really impactful. I like that Bendu wants to be completely neutral. I think that's a really cool. Kind of gives us an insight as to where like maybe the Grey Jedi came from.
Yeah.
But if we'd ever fucking see them, probably in the books, I'm sure. But outside of that, I've never seen the Grey Jedi. But
Right.
So back to Bendu. I think I level with Bendu. I like to be a very neutral party. So when somebody comes in and bothers me, I get pretty irritated about the things they bother me with, depending on what it is. I mean, I'll listen, but like, don't bring me into it. So when he went up to the sky and he was like, "I'm gonna rain fire on y'all bitches," I was like, I understand. Everybody's a target at that point. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty sad to see him get shot down.
Yeah. No, definitely. It was. Yeah. I don't think he's dead by any means, but
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
If he is dead, then he is with the Force.
Yeah, and this is one of those seasons too that it really takes the Force. We dive into the Force in a big way, a lot more than we have in the past in Star Wars material, and that's one of the things that I just really love about it is diving into the concepts of the Force and things like that. I'll talk about this sequence here too, quite a little bit. Even though this is later, obviously we always jump around in these Rebels reviews quite a bit. I try to keep like the most exciting thing till later, but this one was pretty huge. Palpatine coming into the season was big when he's promising Ezra his parents and all that, and that
Absolutely.
sequence is another big highlight to me. It's incredible. I mean, yeah, the way that he kind of shows himself as the classic Palpatine, but really underneath he's Obviously the not
Sidious Palpatine.
right, yeah, right. Like he's prequel Palpatine when he shows himself to Ezra. That was one of the things that I was really really digging when I was going into this. I mean, or into the kind of ending parts of the series.
Let's
And
be honest, like prequel Palpatine is a very inviting looking individual.
mhm.
Like he feels like he's your like really cool grandpa or some shit.
Right, and it took that idea because that's how he maneuvered his way, to the top at the very beginning. And it takes that idea and just kind of brings it forward. Even though here he's only trying to manipulate one individual, but
Well, you can tell it's super powerful.
yeah, yeah. I just think about how much like how hard that decision had to be for Ezra, and just like because he had it was an amazing moment because Ezra finally overcame the thing that has been eating at him the entire series, which is that his parents are dead, and he had to come to acceptance with that finally here in one big beautiful moment. But I mean, you like this scene? I'm sure. I mean, you like the sequence with him and Palpatine, so
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I loved everything about season 4.
Yeah, me too. I really don't have any complaints about this one, so we're really just gonna talk about highlights because there
Honestly,
really isn't a gripe I
my
have.
only my only complaint is that it ended the series. Well, ended Rebels. That's my only complaint about this season.
Yeah, no, exactly. I really don't have a lot of complaints here. Anything I have is so minuscule that it's just not even worth bringing up. It's little tiny minor editing things, but it's if anything, I mean they're fine for the most part.
Absolutely easy to overlook.
Yeah, it's like okay, we're getting such epic Star Wars. It's just it's perfection. It really is. I really love this season. Um, to jump back to the beginning a little bit, we get to see Harrison Dula's father. I think it's oh gosh, what's her dad's name? Something Sandula.
I couldn't tell you, bro. I'm awful with names.
Yeah, but I love the action in the beginning, and Sabine's kind of with them for her last moments that she plans to be fighting with them here in the beginning, because
Yeah.
she's ready to move on. She's given Bo-Katan the saber at this point, and so she's ready to go help fight for her people. I thought all that stuff was really really cool, but then later on, push comes to shove, and Sabine ends up she ends up meeting back up with them, and I think
Her and
that's
her Mando friends.
yeah, yeah, and they all kind of come into one big final clash, and that's another thing that's amazing is the final clash with the Mandalorians and the just the rebels in general, and so that was a really amazing moment at the end there. I don't know, the big final battle. What'd you think of it?
Um, I felt like they did a good job filling it, but I feel like at the same time it wasn't as big of a clash as like it should have been.
Hmm.
That's not a complaint either. That's not a complaint either because I was talking to you about Doctor Stone right before we started this. It gives you the action, but it ends the action pretty much as soon as it starts. But there's enough story and other developing things in there that it feels satiating, and that's how I feel about the final clash. Like it's not as long as I wanted it to be, but it
Right.
had everything I wanted. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it makes sense. I think that it's a really epic battle and 100%. But
Yeah.
on the other hand, it's like there are other things that like are taking it that make that battle almost take a back seat. You know what I mean? In a way.
Yes, absolutely. And
It's
that's the point I was trying to get at there, to be honest.
yeah,
Because it sounded like I was trying to backhand it, and not at all. I was not trying to backhand it at all. I really think that that final battle is a very satiating scene.
yeah,
Honestly, like the whole sequence, I should say. It's just like I wish there were more, but I just wish there were more rebels.
yeah. True. I mean, one of the things we don't really talk about, and I think he was really phenomenal in this final season. I feel like we forget to talk about him every time we do one of these. Is Rex? Rex in this final season, though, is
We do, honestly. We haven't talked about him much except for the first season.
yeah, yeah. Rex in this final battle really makes a lot of it. I just think it's so great to see him, especially if you've seen the Clone Wars. It's so great to see him like be able to really, finally fight for everything he believes in, and actually, bring it somewhere. You know what I mean? It goes somewhere for him, and it's a really wonderful thing to get them back into that clone mentality, I suppose, in a way, but or what the clones originally stood for before Order 66, and it's great to see him go back to that and really
I
start to
said
join the
first
fight.
season. Sorry, I'm
Second
stupid.
season, but yeah, it's okay.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. I knew what you meant. But yeah, no, when he goes back into this clone mentality and starts to really mess things up, it's so wonderful to see, and it's really at the forefront. Another thing we have to talk about is kind of Grand Admiral Thrawn's whole journey, and what he's doing here, because yeah, I think that everything with Thrawn in this season is really really great, but kind of the same thing as we were talking about the battle. Really, up until about the ending, the stuff with Thrawn, it does take a back seat to a lot of other things that are going on. At least until we get to what I think is really amazing, which is the world between worlds, which we can dive into a little bit here. So this is one of the things that we need to really talk about because,
Let's talk about the build up to it.
okay,
Actually, I want to save this because this is such a big thing because it touches on lore
okay,
spanning the series.
all right. So I'll let you take the
Let's
next
wait on
next
that.
piece then. So what did you want to talk about in terms of the build up?
Zeb. We
Yeah,
don't talk about Zeb enough either. We didn't talk about Rex or Zeb enough.
no, it's
Let's be
true.
honest, man. Like him reconnecting with his family. Was that this season or was that last season?
I think it was this one.
Okay, yeah, him reconnecting with his people, and having I think Kanan is the one that helped him kind of direct through
That's
that
true.
star field, and he got to see his family again. Well, his people, I should say. I think that was such a touching thing, and then Zeb. I feel like we've come to the pinnacle of Zeb's growth at this, and I'm honestly curious if we'll ever see Zeb again in the series. I'm not gonna lie to you, like now that
Yeah,
he's
I think we will.
with his, yeah. I don't know. And then God, who was it that fought along their side? I can't remember his name.
Callus.
Callus, thank you. Yeah. So him going with Callus. Didn't Callus show up again later
Yeah.
after
Hmm.
Rebels?
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
So but Callus does go with him to Zeb's new home planet
Yeah.
at the very end of the series. So
Yeah.
if we don't see either or, we're never seeing either or again. That was what I'm saying.
It's
Like
kind of true.
because I feel like if Callus leaves, Zeb's going with him. If Zeb leaves, Callus is going with him. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They kind of go hand in hand now. They've become like this tight group. And
Yeah.
I'm really curious as they ever bring them back.
Yeah. I think that they'll definitely at some point come back. I would hope. I really like those two characters. I like how they built them throughout.
I do too.
I think I was just telling Sammy yesterday about how like there's so many things at the beginning of these series that you don't really think are going to be important later, but like they end up coming forward and becoming important. I think the Callus thing was one of those things. You didn't not really realize how important that might become later on down the line. And
Filoni does a great job.
yeah, and it's just so amazing to see all the things kind of come forward in the season and yeah, I mean the dynamics are as great as ever. Oh, this is something we should talk about too. Is Yavin 4, we're starting to build that base on Yavin 4 that we see in New Hope, which is really really cool. By the way, I mean because like yeah, Hera and her kind of the place that she takes in all this, and like how that all kind of comes into this season, and that stuff is really really fun.
Hera's mentioned in Rogue One, right?
Yeah, you can hear her over the intercom. It's like Captain Syndulla, please report to whatever. Yeah, it's
Okay.
pretty cool.
So, like Rogue One takes place right at the right in the middle of season 4 of
yeah,
Rebels, right?
yeah, like
Okay.
the beginnings of Rogue One do, but I think Scarif is like after, if that makes sense.
Because
Yeah,
I know after the final battle, like that's kind of like where you're getting like the meat of Rogue One.
yeah. No, it's definitely like yeah, the meat of Rogue One's definitely taking place while the final battle is kind of taking place, and yeah,
'Cause I didn't know if Hera was included in that final in the Rogue One, other than being like, "Hey, please report here."
Right. No, you just hear her over the intercom. And
Okay,
I think it's close to that moment too. You see Chopper rolling around somewhere in there too in Rogue One.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, Chopper's definitely in the movie, 100%. And
I'll go back and look.
the ghost is in the Battle of Scarif as well. When they're up there, the ghost is in that battle.
Isn't the ghost in the final battle of the Skywalker saga?
Rise of Skywalker. Yep, it's in there
Okay.
too, which is actually pretty cool. I'm assuming Jason Sindula was piloting at that point, and that's another story we got to talk about. Speaking of that,
Yes.
is Hera's pregnancy, and that it just reveals that her and Kanan definitely had a romance going on throughout this. I mean, if you were too stupid to figure it out, here it is. They kind of
They had a
spell it out for
romance.
you. Yeah, them and their little green-headed child. I thought that was a nice
Green hair.
touch. Yeah, yeah, green hair. Yeah, true. Yeah, green hair and
You don't
just
want to give these people the wrong idea, making them think that it's just like he has a humanoid body and it's like human skin, but the moment like you get to his head, all of a sudden he has like
well.
the Syndulla head.
If you have a child with red hair, you call her it's a red-headed child. Yeah,
I know, but we're talking about Star Wars.
true.
You
Okay.
say green headed person, they're gonna think, wow, this person just has a green alien head.
Yeah, true. That's a good point. That's a really good point. I'll give that to you. No, I think that anyway. So I thought it was a nice touch to give him the green hair and then just like the Kanan Jarrus like type of face
Oh
and
yeah.
very 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 cool. Um,
I think this is like the first time we ever seen like inter species,
yeah,
cross species,
yeah,
in Star Wars.
yeah. That's true. That's a good point. Um,
So I think that's even like more neat. That's a cool introduction.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I was thinking about the guy with the messed up face who shows up in New Hope. I was like, he might be interspecies, but who knows?
He might be. I'd have to see him again because I can't think of like they can't think of what his face
He
looks
looks like
like.
an inbred, so he's either just an
Oh
inbred.
no, he's not interspecies. He's interbred.
Yeah, there you
He's
go.
from Kentucky.
Yeah, exactly.
Or if we're gonna be like actually appropriate with the area he'd come from, it'd be Missouri. But we won't talk about that anymore. Um, Everybody makes jokes about Kentucky, Alabama, Louisiana, and Indiana, but the real place is Missouri.
That's true. Oh man. Okay, so yeah, but talking about Kanan and his whole journey because he has
Oh my
to
god.
really figure out like what he's doing and there's like this whole
He has a like this season was about him up until his unfortunate end.
yeah,
Honestly,
which I
this
guess we
season
can
was
kind of get
his.
into here in a bit, but there's a or we'll really get into here in a bit, but there's a piece I mean, but even before that though, like just him kind of coming into terms about how he's going to be able to move on. He's learning. He's becoming very spiritual, I guess is the way to put it. He's trying to figure out if there's life after death and all these things. Like he's got a curious mind about it all, and that's kind of like what his whole journey kind of represents. Everything he's doing with Bendu. And all that is very representative of that, and also which is really cool because of what ends up happening. But
Oh yeah,
when you really start to break it down, it's like everything that he was doing here it mattered in a big way, and a lot of it was his concern for Ezra, I think, and what if I die, what's this kid gonna do? You know what I mean? And
he just really hoped because I mean Ezra is essentially like his little brother slash adopted son,
right,
and of
so
course he's gonna have that like connection of like, oh, what happens after I die? Is he gonna be evil or is he gonna be good? Like what's gonna happen? Like
right.
it makes perfect sense.
And I think everybody has the same opinion of this at this point, which is that I think when Ezra's speaking to the wolf, like I think that's Kanan, right? Like I think everybody has
I
that.
th- I think yeah, I think we've all determined that that is Kanan's inner mind.
Right. It's him finding his it's the path to immortality in a different way than we've seen, not the usual Force Ghost type way, but he's definitely
We
got his spirit out there and
we see the wolf before Kanan's passing, right?
no. Oh yeah, we think we see it once, but then it's But I think that's because Kanan was probably making connections with it prior. You know what I mean?
Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that makes sense.
That's what I think anyway. That's my theory. I mean, it's never really answered, and I actually like how ambiguous it all really is because, like, I feel like if it was that's the Force. It's never straight answered for us. There's always got to be a level of mystery surrounding it. I don't think it's ever supposed to be straightly. It's not supposed to be spoon fed to us. We gotta
Which
dig in
makes
deep.
sense.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
The mystery behind the Force is what makes the Force so alluring.
Yeah, yeah. And then okay, so the whole mission is to go and rescue Hera, right? She's on her she's on the meds.
She's on that truth serum. She's on the mend.
Yeah, so she's like, they find her and all that, and she's like, she's telling them about, she says I love you to him, but she's like, oh, it's the truth serum talking, or something like that, or I don't know. It was a whole wonderful thing, but it's
So goofy.
yeah,
So beautiful.
but okay, so they're getting off, right? And I mean, they pretty much escaped, and then I think Price gives the order, shoot it down, and then he's like, I think the guy says, "Sir, there's people up there." She's like, "No, shoot it down," and this tank explodes. This moment is insane. This tank explodes, and Kanan just does what his first instinct tells him to do, which is to hold back the flames, And when Hera comes running up to him, and he just that was so powerful. He takes one hand, just throws her back.
You gotta let me go.
Yeah, yeah, and then he's
that
like,
shit hurt me. That shit hurted so fucking bad.
oh, this moment, yeah. I mean, they just did such a good job with it. They showing the look on the way that the voice actors played it out, first of all, was amazing. But like just showing the look on like Sabine's face and Ezra's face when all this is going down, it's like, oh my god, and it really just adds this whole new layer of emotion. And then to find out, that she's, pregnant and in love with him and all that kind of stuff. And I mean, because
if you didn't know, she was absolutely in love with him, guys.
Yeah, in case you didn't know, but still.
You should by now.
Still, it just made it all that much more powerful that she like really confessed it to him, and that was like, oh my gosh, it was just an amazingly powerful scene, and yeah, when he the way it was visually stunning too. I got to add that to it, and the score, Kevin Kiner's score that came into it was really beautiful and moving, and like so he uses the Force to kind of push the ship back, right, and like then the flames all come, and that's the end of Kanan Jarrus. And they even added the score in the credits isn't the usual score either. It was like a really sad emotional score. Like the way that the episode just like ends, it's like, oh man.
They did an absolutely astonishing job with that ending, because I didn't expect that ending. I'm not gonna lie, they kind of give you all the hints there, but I'm just like, oh, he'll live. It's Kanan. Even after hearing his voice in the fucking final episode of the Skywalker saga, I'm just like, oh, he'll survive this. It's fine. His voice is just there because of it's been so long, since that.
Yeah.
Please don't kill him.
This stuff was so chilling, though. It was it was so sad. So sad to see him go, and man, I can get emotional talking about it. I don't want to, but yeah, when Kanan dies, it's like it's
Gives
a
himself
moment.
that haircut.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the haircut. We didn't talk about that. Fuck.
No, we didn't.
No.
That was honestly the perfect foreshadowing they could have done. Like the most perfect foreshadowing they could have done.
Because
you tell that he's come to peace with everything.
Yeah, because he's in the slump, for a lot of this, and then like when he cuts his hair, it was like, okay, I'm coming out, we're going after it. It was just
leaves his mask.
Yeah, he evolved as a human, in these moments in a way, and yeah, I forgot all about that. Thank you for bringing that up.
I'd say it's deeper than that. He evolved as a Jedi.
Maybe it's possible. I could see it because he's learned so much, and yeah, definitely has touched into the Force, as we were kind of saying earlier, in just a whole new way, and then on a level that he's never been able to do before. So evolved as a Jedi, sure, yeah, I'll take it. That's definitely something that I could say or see. But he's no, but this these final moments are some of the most emotional and powerful Star Wars out there. It's literally like the reason you watch the show. I mean, there's great moments throughout.
Oh,
Don't get me
absolutely.
wrong. I mean, everything we've talked about prior, but these final moments, yeah, just definitely the thing. But
This build-up is what you were waiting for.
yeah,
Everything. Like, this is why you watched it. This is absolutely the reason you watched it, and it's absolutely worth getting through. If you haven't watched it yet, you psychopaths, watch it.
Adam.
Adam. Sammy hasn't watched it either, has she?
No, she needs to. Sammy.
Sammy, watch it. Adam, watch it.
But
Disappointed.
yeah, definitely, you need to watch it if you're a Star Wars fan for sure. But
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I rate Rebels as probably the best Star Wars in my own opinion.
fair enough. I still think you need to get through Clone Wars before you can do that. But yeah.
Look, you're not wrong, but
I know how it is right now. Trust me. But when you get through it, when you power through it, man, I'm telling you, you're gonna.
when I finally get through it, we can start doing the talks about the series.
Yeah, I can't wait either because it's some of my favorite stuff. I actually, no offense to Rebels, I would actually rather dive into that, and I think there's a lot more to dive into with Clone Wars. So
Yeah, I'll give you that for sure.
yeah.
I mean, there's 7 seasons. There better be a lot to dive into.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, watch the last 4. Don't even like try to get yourself to watch the whole thing. Watch the last 4, then you'll be
But I'm missing so much.
motivated to go back though. You know.
But then I'd be missing so
Yeah.
much.
But you'll go back and watch it all and fill in the spaces.
I think one of my other issues as well is like there's so many good anime coming out that like just this winter spring season this year alone. That's like I have so much on my plate to watch now.
Everybody does now though.
I know. They
With
really
everything
do.
that's happening right now, yeah, everybody has a lot on their plate to watch or read or whatever they're doing. Yeah.
Dom, I almost feel bad for telling you that you need to watch anime because of the stuff that's coming out. There's a fucking motherload. Oh my god, there's a motherload. There's already a motherload to watch, but now there's a motherload coming out this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. Not this is an anime episode.
No, I
this is
get
a
it though.
episode.
I get it though.
I need to watch Clone Wars though, so that way, you know, I can get the meat of other things that like connect Ahsoka to this story.
Power through it, man. Just power through it.
I will for you.
Thank
for
you.
you alone.
Thank you.
And our beautiful viewers.
Yeah. And trust me, do it chronologically. You will be more motivated when you do it that
I
way.
just don't remember what episode I'm on at this point. I keep passing out while watching them too, so
All
it
right.
makes me lose my
Just
spot.
skip 1, 2. Well, we did the movie review already, so just skip 1, 2 in the movie. There's really nothing important there. Okay, he meets Ahsoka. She's the Padawan. There's nothing that gets driven forward there. That's done. There's a couple small things, but it's nothing big. But like for the most part, that movie, everything. So from the movie, just start from after the movie, right when you're getting into that Master Plo
I think I'm
Koon
on, like,
stuff. That's the it's
episode
gonna
16. I think I'm on episode 16 of season 1.
Yeah, you can almost skip season 1. Almost. I wouldn't tell you to do that, but you can almost skip it.
What seasons can I skip?
None.
Not almost. Okay, fair enough. I'll watch them all.
No, if there's any you do skip, okay. All right, I'll tell you this. Skip one, because you know all the backstory already, so you don't need one. Because I know you know like the backstory of 1 already, so just skip through 1 and start
At this
with
point,
2.
I definitely do.
Yeah, start with 2, but go chronologically because there's a couple episodes from 1 it'll take you back to that are important to. Yeah. So if you start,
I've already seen those.
Yeah, so when you go through the list and go all the way down past all that season 1 stuff, start with that first one that's in season 2, and then just keep going.
Quick message to Filoni if he ever decides to watch this. You're an asshole because you're making me watch this out of order. I love you, but you're an asshole.
Oh man. All right, now that we're off on the tangent, let's get into the world between worlds.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The build up. We have to start with the build up, bro, because there's so
Right.
much.
Right. Okay. So you got the Thrawn, right? He's kind of guarding this thing. There's that going on, and so Thrawn's guarding this thing.
Scientist.
Right. Sabine and Ezra are on a mission to go find it. I can't remember exactly how they found out. for some reason about the role between, or about this thing that Palpatine was. Was it because the wolf comes to Ezra, right, and then he tells him about it, right?
The wolves essentially lead him there.
Right.
This is
Okay.
after they go through that whole sequence with the wolves.
Right. The wolves.
So the wolves essentially lead him there through a mind journey, a mystical journey.
Right.
And so he's like, hey, we have to go, over here because there's like a monolith we have to find. So then they get there, and then he's trying to decipher everything. And the stormtroopers are being cunts.
Yeah, no, definitely. So they're over there guarding it, and there's Thrawn's over there, and I think he gets Sabine, right, and he's trying to interrogate Sabine over here. But Ezra is
because of her knowledge,
right, and then Ezra continues through the temple, and the temple is very much reminiscent of the temples we've seen in prior seasons and things like that, except it's got all these.
Pause.
Yeah.
We're skipping where it's connecting Revan and everybody.
Oh no, I was getting there.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. This is before they capture and interrogate Sabine. Then.
Okay, sorry about that. Yeah.
When he goes through the portal, they capture Sabine, and then they're like, "How the fuck did you get in there?" It's
right.
Like, I don't know.
Right. Okay. So he goes through the portal. Then that's when they capture Sabine. But then there you got there is this connection. Well, the outside of it, right, is like, first of all, we got the outside of it that's making that design when he lights it up. That's right.
Father,
that's
brother.
right. That's right. The Mortis arc. Yes. Right. That's right.
The only person on that like monolith or that portrait that I would recognize. I don't know if that was Revan. Honestly.
No. That's no. What you're seeing is it is the Mortis family, the father, the son, and the daughter, which is all set up in Clone Wars very well.
That's set up in Clone. I thought that was connected to the Old Republic.
No. All that stuff's in Clone Wars. The father and the daughter and the son of the Force and Mortis and
Really.
Mm-hmm.
That's not Old Republic stuff.
Speaking
of which,
no. Revan is, but no.
You told me about them remaking Old Republic, and I told you.
What?
The Knights of the Old Republic, they're remaking it, right?
Well, no. Not necessarily.
Okay, we'll get into that another time then. Okay, continue with this.
Well, no. It's quick. I mean, it's not going to take long to explain.
Okay,
essentially, from my understanding, is they're just making an Old Republic game. It doesn't mean they're remaking it. It just means that they're going to make something set in the Old Republic. And even then, it's still only classified as a rumor. It's not confirmed. So.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just figured since we're talking about the Mortis family seems like it'd be something from the Old Republic era.
Yeah. I believe it's happening, though. Yeah. No, but don't get me wrong. Like, the Mortis family existed in the Old Republic. It's just that it wasn't really dove into then. But the only way that they're explained in canon is definitely the Clone Wars. Like, the Clone Wars is the only way that they're a part of the current canon is that, and that's why. Yeah, no, 100%. Like, yeah, they're in Clone Wars, and that's where you get the real meat of it all. And Mortis is when you get to that Mortis stuff, man, it's like you're not getting out of Clone Wars. That comes up in season 3, so you don't have that much to go. Yeah,
not at all.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off on another little tangent there. I just know nothing about them, and I was like, man, why does that guy look so fucking familiar?
Yeah.
I'm talking about the brother. I don't know anything about the sister or the father.
Right. Yeah, no, that's the Mortis family, and that's who's on the front of this. I'm pretty damn positive, anyway. But
so, I'm guessing that the sister represents the light side. The father represents neutrality, and the brother represents darkness.
Right. Exactly.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty great stuff in Clone Wars.
The Grey Jedi, and the Sith.
Yeah, can't wait till you get there.
Okay.
Yeah,
I can't either now.
It's amazing, dude.
Now that I know where this is stemming from, I'm honestly really stoked to get.
Oh yeah, that was pulled forward from Clone Wars, and so they go into this portal that, and there's an explanation of it's definitely like something that Palpatine's been trying to crack forever, seems like, and he hasn't been able to do so. So Ezra makes it in there, and all we hear so many great things in this. The voices, if you listen to them, I mean, you hear Obi-Wan talking to Luke and Rey, talking to somebody, and it's just like you hear so many things from the entire saga. Yeah.
You hear Rey?
Yeah, Rey's in there.
What?
Yeah, I'd have to go back
that.
to. It's one of the lines from Force Awakens. I can't remember the exact one, but she's in
That's
there.
fucking wild.
I think it's when she's talking to
this...
Maz Kanata, and she says like "I'm no one" or something like that.
That's fucking
Yeah.
wild. I never pieced that together.
Yeah, Rey's in there. Yeah, 100%. I know, it's crazy. Yeah, because this season came out after Force Awakens, so Force Awakens is already released. This season did, yeah.
I thought they were coming out at the same time.
No, it's after Force Awakens, before Last Jedi is when this got released. So
Wild, absolutely wild. I'm sorry, guys, I'm an idiot. Wild.
yeah, or at least the back half of the season did, because I think like you're right. The first half of the season they aired during Force Awakens being released, the release of Force Awakens, and then the back half they like took a break, and then the back half of the season got released after Force Awakens. So
okay,
yeah,
okay, absolutely wild. I love that.
Yeah, yeah, and so yeah, you can hear things from all over the saga throughout here. Little Easter eggs, great little nuggets for you. Yeah. So anyway, so he's walking through and he's looking at all these things, and then he kind of figures out what this is that it basically, it's not time travel per se, but it is like different moments of time. These portals kind of lead to different moments in time, and then eventually he gets to one that's showing the Ahsoka Vader fight, right, that we saw in season 2. And so I like this because it establishes rules, right? Because he grabs Ahsoka, you know what I mean? And then she has to end up returning to her designated time. But he wants to save Kanan. So let's talk about Kanan, because he wants to save Kanan, yes.
I have one more tangent to go on here.
Go ahead.
By the way, you remember when we reviewed season 2 and I was like, yeah, you can see Ahsoka walking
Yeah,
away.
I remember. And you were right, yeah.
Eat it. Eat it.
You were right. I just missed it. But you're
yes,
right.
You
It's
did.
It's very. It's very. It is very subtle, but she's there for sure. And the owls flying, absolutely. And yeah, it's great. It's great. It's wonderful. I'm so glad it was there. Now that I'm looking back on it, but
sorry, I apologize.
No
I had to bring that back up because you were like, no, she is not. She is not there.
It's a great observation. Once I was able to make sense of it, I was like, oh, well, that does actually make sense when you think about how she had to return to her own designated time and all that. And yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So
he wanted to save Kanan.
He wants to save Kanan, but he can't, because then if he saves Kanan, then everybody else dies, and it doesn't work that way. So I like that it's establishing rules within this. Like, it worked for Ahsoka.
I like that it doesn't even explain why he can't. Like, it's Ahsoka.
Well, it does. Because
no,
because if he saves Kanan, think about this, then the fire goes and they all die.
Kinda, but I mean, like, I don't remember them explaining it. I thought it was Ahsoka. It was just like, you can't do that.
Well, no. Okay, sorry. They don't explain it, but it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, yes. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry about that. So, they don't, like, spoon feed it, no, but it does make a lot of sense.
It's Ahsoka essentially explaining, like, you can't mess up time. If you mess up time, other things will happen.
That's really it, yeah. But you know what she means when she says it, because, obviously if he pulls them away from that, fire goes, they're all dead. There's no way. He had to be there in that moment. So in that way, yes, it establishes the rules of this. So, and just like, I felt like everything here just felt so earned from everything we did throughout the show.
Oh, absolutely.
It just made it feel so much more earned. And like, I don't want like time travel in Star Wars, but like the way it was done was earned.
I think the way that they did this was the perfect way to set up for Ezra to finally become a true Jedi.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
This scene alone was the moment where it's like he has to realize that the Jedi way is you have to give up the things that you're going to love.
Right.
And you have to be okay with the fear.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. It's 100% true, I think, and that is exactly what they set up. And then, the Palpatine stuff happens, which we talked about earlier. I mean, there's just so many great things going on here with these portals and everything like that, and it's wonderful.
Fucking fire from Palpatine. That fire, bro. Why? Why was that intense?
The blue flames when he kind of comes out of the thing, and that's so true. That is so true. 100%, man. You're right. That fire was crazy.
That actually kind of had me on the edge of my seat. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah. That was crazy cool. Loved it. Loved the visuals of the night sky and all that, and how that kind of it's become the representation of like spirituality, you know, in a way for like the Force and everything. Because even at the end of Rise of Skywalker, when Rey's looking up, we kind of get that same image of the night sky, and it's become that representation within this universe of that. So yeah, just really really wonderful stuff. Yeah, we kind of talked about the battle quite a bit, but I do want to talk about the final moments, which is Ezra's plan. To get Thrawn that he didn't really tell anybody, which I really enjoyed, because he ends up going up there.
Absolute mystery.
Infiltrate. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's definitely an absolute mystery, and I think it's a very well done absolute mystery.
Mm-hmm.
Again, giving us that satiating feeling without giving us too, like, you know, with being able to end it the way they end it. It still gave us the satiation.
Yeah. And so what he ends up doing is he runs in here and he confronts Thrawn. I thought this moment was so epic, and Kevin Conner's score popping in, dun, 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 dun. It was just everything was so great, and you know, he's going after Thrawn, and Thrawn like kind of knocks the blaster out of his hand. He like shoots him in the back, but then these troopers come up behind him. He like slams the door shut with the Force and throws the troopers back, and just like everything going on here is so epic. And then like the space whales come in, right?
Yes.
And then like they wrap around Thrawn, you know, and he's telling Hera, he's like, Hera, I have to do this. You know, this is the plan. You know. And she's like, Ezra, get out of there. And he's like, no, I have to do this. I have to see this through to the end, is what he says. And how beautiful is this? It's so good.
Okay, so I guess I do have a gripe because I didn't think about the ending of this. This is my one gripe. He actually did not have to stay there. He did not have to stay on that ship. He could have kept Thrawn wrapped up while being outside of the ship, and then like he could have jumped off that ship a few moments before the space whales finally jumped.
Yeah, but if he jumps, where's he going?
Down.
Down and splat. I know he's a Jedi and all, but like, I think because of where it's at, it's
Anakin
like
can fall from stories high.
He ain't Anakin Skywalker. First of all, second of all, if he goes down that far,
he's better. He's not a traitor.
No, but if he goes down that far, it's splat, man. I don't see it happening any other way. He had to stay on there, I think. I disagree with you.
It's just me because I wanted Rebels to continue, and I wanted Ezra to continue.
Well, we're getting the storyline still later. We're going to see what happens.
Hopefully. They better finish Ahsoka soon, sometime this year, and we better get it this year.
But
I'm too impatient.
No, I can't wait for that series, man. It's crazy. I want the Ahsoka series so bad, and
I do too.
Oof. Yeah. Then we get so then he flies off, and it's really is an amazing like ending though in its own way, and so then we get the epilogue to everything, which is that we're going after Return of the Jedi timeline. Sabine's narrating the whole thing, which I love, and it's she's talking about what Callus and Zeb did, which is go off to with those people, and then they have the Jason Syndulla is the child, and we talked about this really in a lot of ways, but what we didn't talk about is the ending, which is Sabine saying Ezra's out there somewhere, and I'm gonna find him, and then we see Ahsoka show up, pull down the hood. It's a wonderful moment. And basically what this is setting up is a storyline for Sabine and Ahsoka to go look for Ezra. And I think that's going to be awesome. And Filoni's going to develop the Ahsoka series, which I'm pretty sure is where we're going to see all this.
Which will be absolutely fantastic. And see, I should have pieced together that Ezra, that Thrawn was still going to be around, because you thought about it. Ezra's still out there. Why would Thrawn be?
Yeah. And obviously,
Ezra's not the type of person to kill.
Right. Obviously, this is where it becomes relevant to The Mandalorian, is because, Ahsoka's looking for Thrawn in that series. So, yeah, they're both still out there. And, I think they're going to both go on this mission with two different goals, Sabine looking for Thrawn, Ahsoka looking for Ezra, other way around. Sabine looking for Ezra, Ahsoka looking for Thrawn. And that's going to be kind of how it's going to go. And, I think it's going to be a lot of fun, man. And, Yeah, I love the ending, Ian. So what do you feel about the epilogue, the ending? Did you think it was all,
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of tearing up thinking about it, to be honest with you. But no, I think that it was a fulfilling epilogue. I think that this whole series in general ended very, very, very well, and I think this is one of the best Star Wars stories we will ever get.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's just me. But I want to talk about something else that we kind of missed. I loved the little like triple spy maneuver that the fucking what's his name pulled. The mayor, the dude wears the hat, voice with the really deep fucking scratchy voice. I can't think of what his name is for life of me. I have a horrible time remembering.
I don't know why I don't remember this.
It's right before it's where they essentially capture what is her name? Now I can't remember the fucking general's name.
Hera?
Not Hera. It's right before they capture. It's like this is the whole capturing sequence of Thrawn's right hand man.
Oh, Price.
Price, yes.
Yeah.
They captured Price.
Okay, no, I remember. Yeah.
Sorry,
No, you're good.
Still got morning brain, even though it's been like a few hours I've been away.
Yeah, no, you're good. I remember exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, that was a really, really cool, interesting thing going on there.
I liked how they pieced that together to keep her from impeding on the plans of
yes
of Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
You know, them finally getting rid of Thrawn.
Yeah, no, that stuff was amazing. You're right. That was a really, really fun time. Yeah, that stuff was crazy.
They kind of turned her onto their side at the end there too,
Mm-hmm.
like only slightly.
Yeah. It was only slightly, but yeah, like Thrawn did not have Price's best interest in mind though at all. Like,
nope, he didn't care.
Yeah, and I think that was. It just shows how Thrawn is, man. He's tactical. He's calculated. It's chess. Yeah, it's a game of chess, where he's going to move the pieces together to get his way. But yeah, no, 100%, man. I love those moments. I think that's very, very funny or not funny stuff, but fun stuff. Yeah, it's hilarious.
Well, now it's funny.
No, it's fun stuff, and it's wonderful how it was all pieced together, and 100%. Yeah, but that's the ending of Rebels, guys. It's been a very fun journey talking Star Wars with everybody. We're going to take a break from it for a little while, but eventually we'll get back to it.
Probably starting with Clone Wars.
Yeah.
It would take me probably a month to get through it all.
We'll have to do that 7 weeks out or something before Book of Boba Fett, so we can plan it out and line it up to where, we're done with Clone Wars, here's Book of Boba Fett, you know what I mean? And Boba Fett's a big part of Clone Wars, so that's going to, kind of. So that's going to be it'll be a lot of fun to talk about. He takes place, he's in Clone Wars quite a bit, so, yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
How could I have been so foolish?
So yeah, this should be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll get around to that. And before we go, since this is a Star Wars show, I do want to talk some High Republic. Always got to get to that. So I'll give Ian the skinny on where I'm at with it.
Just skinny.
So, all right. So everybody, I finished Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, the first book. Good introduction to everything. Definitely gets you comfortable with the world. Not an amazing book by any means. I thought it was okay. I liked it. Liked it enough. There's definitely a lot of characters to keep up with in there, and a lot of different moving pieces. I mean, I made notes, man. I was like, I have a note in my phone that's just keeping the High Republic straight, because I want to make sure I have all the characters down and everything like that.
That's funny.
And no, but
I respect it.
It's a fun time so far. I don't like that it's again, I think I was talking about this. It kind of has this, like, the first book had this like Avengers feel to it, to where it was like the team of Jedi, and I'm like, I love Avengers, but not in Star Wars. I just want Star Wars to be Star Wars, Marvel to be Marvel, and this
I get that.
Took a lot of inspiration from Marvel for sure, and I think that. And me, again, it's all the characters they were introducing in Light of the Jedi that didn't really work for me. I think they did too many, and there wasn't like enough time to spend with all them. I think, again, this is going across multiple platforms, this whole story. So I get that it's an introduction and that it could all come into play later, and we're probably by the end of this going to know all these characters, right? Like that's exactly how these types of shared universes work. So yeah, I think that that'll be pretty cool. I mean, my favorite character so far in the whole thing is Loden Greatstorm. He's a really, really great, awesome Jedi to follow. I think he was one of the best. I like Avar Kriss as well, who's a female Jedi master, and she's really, really awesome. But yeah, no, Loden Greatstorm is really, really cool. He does some stuff in this last book that was really, really cool. Him and his apprentice Bell, like Bell Zettifar, I really am getting attached to very much. And I can't wait to read the next thing that they're involved in, because I think that they're, again, the characters that I'm latching on to the most. And they really have a really cool master apprentice dynamic that feels very different than things we've seen before. Like, it's different than Kanan and Ezra. They have a different type of dynamic. They just know how to trust each other in a great way, you know what I mean? And I think that from where we last left off, it was really cool because Bell, went and saved some people, like a family from the Nile, which is a whole nother thing I'll get into. And Bell is like really awesome because he saves his family or parts of the family. And when he does that, his master tells him, "Oh, you've moved up now to Jedi Knight." And I like, this is like really an exciting dynamic to have here, where we're seeing an apprentice move up through the ranks. We see Anakin do it, but we never really saw it. You know what I mean? Like we didn't see, this is cool.
We don't get the meat.
We're going in deep, right? Exactly, and we see why he moved into a Jedi Knight and everything, and all that. And that's like, oh, that's so cool. And and I can't wait to see them two partner up and have kind of an Obi-Wan Anakin dynamic. Hopefully one of them doesn't turn to the dark side, but we'll see.
Hopefully,
we'll see. Any of them could, because anything's possible. That's the other reason I like this, is because there are a lot of characters where anything is really possible. For any of them to turn at the dark side later on down the line, because there's no Sith involved. They're all from before. They talk about the Sith, but they talk about the Old Republic, and the Old Republic is where all the Sith existed, and now they've been in hiding. We all know that's because Darth Bane created the Rule of Two, which I'm hoping comes into play in the Acolyte series, because that's supposed to take place at the end of all the High Republic stuff, and that's probably where we're going to see Darth Bane. But yeah, go ahead.
High Republic's literally right after Old Republic, then.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like, this is the whole era after Old Republic, where it's just Jedi. They're the guardians of peace and justice in the galaxy, like Obi-Wan said.
Leading into the New Republic.
Leading into, well, right, yeah, the New Republic that we saw in the prequels, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what it's going to lead into eventually, and we're going to probably eventually get to Darth Bane at some point, because Darth Bane created the Rule of Two, and like, that's where we're going to, because that's where the Sith are. It's not that they're gone, there's just a small amount of them. But I think that we're going to really dive into it tenfold, because in the Nile, there's a group in the Nile, and the leader of the Nile right now is Marshawn Rowe. And Marshawn Rowe, I think, is a Sith. I think he's a Sith. The way they tease us at the end of his character, talking about he kind of betrays all the Nile at the end of it, like, which is really crazy. Yeah, and like, but he's keeping like a small amount of them at his side, and it's like, oh, okay, I kind of see where this is going. He might be attached to Bane somehow and the Rule of Two and all that, and he might be just trying to recruit who his next Sith is going to be. But they don't have the Force to our knowledge, but there is a moment at the end where Marshawn Rowe picks up in the lightsaber and kills somebody with it. So I was like, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is where the book got exciting, was right at the end when all this stuff was coming. I was like, I see where they're going, maybe. They're trying to set up the Sith. That's I think it's all going to go, but we'll see. I think Marshawn Rowe's a Sith. You guys got to let me know. Anyway, first book, mediocre, but had a really cool third act.
I apologized. I want to get into the meat of this Bane. I know nothing about Bane. Explain. Why Rule of Two? Why Rule of Two?
Well, because
Plagueis?
Well, no, kind of ish. Okay. I don't know where Plagueis falls in terms of Bane, at least in the current canon, because with canon, the story goes in canon so far is that when the Sith and the Jedi went to war, the Jedi destroyed the Sith and brought the peace and justice of the galaxy. Well, Bane is the guy who's kind of stepped up, and you'll get into this in Clone Wars too. They kind of talk about it quite a bit in the sixth
Okay.
season, but he's yeah, Bane essentially what he did is he's like, okay, we're not going to come and destroy the Jedi in armies, right? We're going to it's the rule of two, because if there's only two of us, it's harder to find us, right? So that we're going to operate from another place. That's why I think that this Nile thing, it's a Sith operation. It's not being said that it is, but I think the Nile and the High Republic is a Sith operation. And I think Marchand Rowe is really a part of that. And he probably already has the Force and has been trained in all that. Plus, what was really cool is I believe it's Loden Greatstorm is captured by Marchand Rowe. That's another cliffhanger that we leave off of in Light of the Jedi. He gets captured by Marchand Rowe. Everybody thinks he's dead over at the High Republic. I forgot to mention this, and
Oh,
he's talking to Marchand Rowe, and he tells Marchand Rowe, "I've seen you before somewhere." And Marchand Rowe never tells him. It never gets followed up on. But I think Marchand Rowe is a part of the Sith organization, even though they don't think that there is Sith out there. So I think it's really, really cool where they're going.
so the rule of two definitely makes sense because if you look at Palpatine and how he operated
Rule 2,
with
right?
yeah with what's fuck I can't think of
Darth
his name
Maul in
now.
the beginning.
Yeah, Maul and who else was there?
Well, Plagueis was Palpatine's master, and then Palpatine supposedly killed Plagueis, and then took on Darth Maul as his apprentice.
We don't know how long Plagueis has been not Plagueis Sidious has been around,
Right?
do we?
No, not exactly. I think he's been around at least. I would assume this is where the High Republic's leading is probably going to be the birth of Palpatine and all that. At some point, we're going to get there, I think. And
I'm just so interested in knowing about Plagueis, honestly, because Plagueis is supposed to be like the most powerful Sith or some
I
shit.
definitely think he's going to pop up in it, like in the High Republic at some point, like toward the end. I think that'll be the Acolyte series. Like it's going to have hints of Plagueis and young Palpatine. I think that's where it's all kind of leading. But we have to get there, and I see it going in that direction. That's why the ending of the Light of the Jedi, even though I've been dissing this book the whole time, like where it went, I was like, okay, I'm very happy because I see it going in the right direction. To
Okay.
where it's like we're going to get there. It's just it's a build. So I'll tell you what. So I finished it. I like the book. There's a lot of really cool concepts in there. Don't love it. I like it. But there is. So then I started The Great Jedi Rescue by Justine Ireland, the second book, and this is cool. I don't know why this hasn't been done like before in Star Wars, because we're literally following a young Jedi who's in training in this, and like I
Ooh,
don't know why we haven't done that before. And her name
I don't
is
know either.
Vernestra. She's
Well,
becoming one
we
of my favorites. Yeah.
technically have we just haven't followed them from their like actual point of start all the way through to them being a Jedi Knight. Like we've seen Ezra, but like we didn't really see like the old style of Jedi training. We see like this new like hey we have to do this kind of like on the low low.
Yeah, but like with this character Vernestra, the difference here though is that like she's in training. She has friends that are just as young as she is. She's only like 16. She has friends that are just as young as she is, and she's connecting with them. And it's almost like Harry Potter within Star Wars. You know
Kind
what
of
I mean? It's
kind
that
of like
kind
the
of
younglings that they
right.
had before Anakin decided to go all
Yeah. Exactly. I just don't know why we've never followed one of them before, but here we are, and yeah, it's like a group of younglings that we're getting attached to
okay.
in this book, and
Okay, that's neat.
what's really cool, and spoilers for all this, by the way, the Great Jedi. That's not the Great Jedi Rescue. What's this one called? I had that title wrong. It's whatever one's by Justine Ireland. I can't remember. Test of
I
Courage.
couldn't.
Test of Courage is the name of the second book. I'm sorry. And so what ends up happening is all these anomalies that were in the first Light of the Jedi book that the Jedi had to stop. Of course, the Light of the Jedi had set up that there was still a ton of them out there. Well, she's on a ship with some of her friends, and the ship ends up getting hit by one of these anomalies. And now it's a really really cool setup for her story. She has to like almost save everybody, and it's like this sounds like one great adventure story, and I can't wait to get into it more. But go ahead, you had something to say.
You know what? I'm probably gonna have to buy these books. I got a Barnes and Nobles right around the corner, so I might have to go over there and buy these books.
There's 4 out now. Now, I was telling Sammy this because she wants to get them too, but what I told her, okay, so Light of the Jedi is the first one, and then the second one is Test of Courage. The third one is Great Jedi Rescue. The fourth one is Into the Dark by Claudia Gray. Got to shout her out when she comes out with something, which I did pick up yesterday, by the way, and I can't wait to get into that one. And then the fifth one is, I can't remember the name of it. It's coming out later this month, but once that fifth one's done, you'll have the first 5, and you got like a lot of time till the next one comes, because it doesn't come till June. The next one's not out till June, so
it'll probably take me longer than that to read these.
No, Light of the Jedi, I finished in a week, I think, and then the second one, Test of Courage, I'm probably going to get done today, honestly. I can't wait to just cram through it, honestly. I might get done with it today or tomorrow. It's really thin, too. What's it called? Test of Courage is like a lot thinner than Light of the Jedi. That's the other thing, is like they're not all the same length. Yeah.
Isn't technically the Test of Courage where we kind of, like, isn't... Oh, sorry, I sound like that fucking...
No, you're fine.
Isn't the Test of Courage where we kind of get to see Cal go at the end when he gets the dual saber?
Kestis? No, I don't know.
Isn't that where they perform the Test of Courage, so that where they can get their Kyber crystal?
Maybe. You might be onto something there now I'm thinking about it. That's true. That's so true. Hang on here for 2 seconds. Stall the audience and talk about that real quick, because I'll be right back here in 2 seconds.
So I could be absolutely wrong, but I remember when playing through, why am I so spacey today? I apologize, everybody. But I remember when playing through the, you know what, I have the game right here. Hold on, 2 seconds. Fallen Order. Sorry. So many names, so many things. I've been watching a lot of anime. But I know when playing through Fallen Order, whenever we get to that planet, it's like Elude? I don't remember. Iliad? No, Iliad's something from Warframe, I think. But when we get there, we get to these like ice caves and everything, and these ice caves, you're finding the remnants of old Jedi and shit like that. And I think they mention it being the Test of Courage. What's the name of that planet? Is that Elude?
Ilum.
Yeah. I said Iliad, but I think that's something from Warframe.
They might have called it the Test of Courage. I hadn't thought of that. I'll have to go back and look at that clip, and maybe they do, because that's interesting.
It's whenever you're going through and you're finding like the remnants of the youngling's memories. Yeah,
and maybe that's what the character of Ernestra is going to end up going through, is like that, and then she's gonna evolve as a Jedi maybe by the end of the book. That'd be really, really awesome. That's a cool direction. I hadn't thought of that, but so I'll show you here, because I was going to show you the level of thickness with these. So this is the first one, Light of the Jedi by Charles Soule, and
I like the artwork.
Yeah, it's great. The artwork on all of them is actually pretty cool, but the level of thickness is that. So
that's a thick book for me.
It's one of the thicker ones for sure. But
do it have picture?
That one does not, but hold on.
Then I can't read.
You'll read it. You should check it out, man. I'll tell you. But the second one, this one I really love the artwork. This is the the one I'm on now. The Test of Courage, by Justina Ireland. Really love that artwork. The level of thickness on this one is only this. It's a pretty smaller book. It's a much smaller book, so not thick at all, really. And then you have this one. This is the one you're going to be most interested in, Ian. This is a little more ear level. The Great Jedi Rescue by, I believe it's Cavan Scott.
Oh, that's absolutely my level.
Look at that level of thickness. You see that? Look at that. Look how thin that is. And this one, I haven't been through it yet, but this one definitely has pictures in it and stuff. So it's definitely.
It has picture.
Yeah, I'm actually excited for this one too. I'll tell you why. Because now that I know all the characters, I can't wait to see like actual visuals of them and putting faces to the names. Right, and then this is the one by Claudia Gray. I don't care how thick it is. Claudia Gray is an amazing Star Wars author, so I cannot wait to get to it. Into the Dark. Love that artwork. Incredible artwork. And then you got this level of thickness on that one. So
is that paperback too?
No, they're all hardcover except for the Great Jedi Rescue. They don't make it in hardcover, but yeah. So I'm so excited to dive into these. The fifth one also comes out later this month.
I do have to ask, because there's a certain way to keep your hardcovers from getting destroyed just through reading them. Have you been doing that? Do you know how to do it?
It's because extremely careful.
Okay, so this is actually good knowledge that my friend taught me with his omnibuses for his like Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
So with hardcovers, there's like an eyelet whenever you open them up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a hardcover here, but what you can do to help kind of keep them from getting destroyed, open it straight from the middle, and then like for open, take one page, close it, take another page, close it, take another page, close it, but you got to close it from like the middle out, and you got
Okay.
to close it one page at a time going all the way out.
Oh,
I don't remember exactly how to do it, but it's a way to preserve your book from getting destroyed.
nice.
And because that eyelet, if it's not a perfect eye and it's like lopsided when you open it, what it can do is it can tear the seams down the middle. So just
Right.
heads up for you and anybody else, there's a way. Look up how to keep the eyelet perfect.
Right. No, my Harry Potter and the Goblet of
Good
Fire
advice.
book, God bless it, has kind of done that. It's kind of shredded a little bit in the middle there, so I'm not really. Yeah.
So that's a way to keep your books from getting destroyed.
Well, thank you.
So go do that before you read the other ones.
I'll do more research on it for sure to make sure that doesn't happen. But yeah, because I love these books. I like the artwork. I think it just looks incredible. But anyway, listen, guys, we're gonna wrap up here. Thank you for joining. I've been Don Martino once again. This has been Ian Schick. And Ian, where can the people find you before we go?
You can find me at jewtacularian on Instagram and or YouTube. I just uploaded a cover today. It's kind of there. You go on there. Tell me what you think. I'd appreciate it.
All right. Sounds wonderful. And definitely go do that, guys. Make sure you're supporting the entire crew when they're on here and not just this channel. You can find me at Dom_Martino_ on Twitter. And you can find me Dom_Martino_official on Instagram. And really hope you guys go do that and follow me over there. I'll also be leaving that in the description so you guys can check that out too. Also, we've been doing a lot on stereo lately, guys. So make sure you go follow all of our accounts. I am at
Absolutely.
Dom Martino. Ian is at Ian J. Schick. Sammy Ramirez at Sammy Ramirez. So make sure you go follow all of our accounts there.
He will link those.
Yes, I will put those in the description as well. And make sure if you guys haven't done so already, if you like the content here, please hit the like button below, subscribe to the channel, leave some feedback in the comments section. Very much appreciated. And yeah, that's share this with your friends too if you think that they'll like it. And we appreciate the support. This has been a review of Star Wars Rebels Season 4, and very sad we're closing out. But hey, we'll be back with something else that's very fun and very exciting, and we'll get there. Yes.
May the force be with you.
May the force be with you. Bye-bye.